Hi everybody, welcome back. We are going to do day 3 of Unit 4, ratios, percents, and proportions. So today, we're actually going to do percents, okay? Again, this may have been something you covered before break. That's okay. We're going to go over it again. If you have any questions, though, please just go ahead and write them down, and we will go over them in class. And if you need to, pause the video because I'm going too fast. Luckily, you have the option to do that, where in class, you probably wouldn't be able to pause me. Okay? Let's go ahead and start with vocabulary. So, percent actually just means part of 100. It's usually given as ratios. Um, so, if we write it as a fraction, it's always something over 100, and then that number over 100 is what gets the percent sign. Percent actually means per 100. Cent is it's a prefix meaning 100. So, like century is 100 years. So, percent. Okay? Um, when you see a percent proportion, it's always going to be that percentage over 100. That's the ratio it creates. So as proportion, it's going to be that percent over 100 is equal to either the part over the whole amount, or it could be, like word problems, a lot of times they don't just say like this part and this amount. You'll see the words is and of a lot. Okay, so like 74 is whatever, like 62% of, I don't even know, like 182. That's not right, but gives you a sense of like this is the part of the whole. Okay? So these are how the proportions are going to be written. They're going to show up on your SOL where they're going to ask like which one's the correct proportion. So you want to know how these look, okay? So, next part, in a percent proportion, the 100 is always part of it, okay? So that's always a given. So of these four parts, 100 is always a given. The other numbers, the percentage, the part, the whole, the is, the of, those are given all except for one, okay? So you only have one out of those four numbers not given to you. That not given number, that missing number, will be what you put your variable in. So you'll have a proportion that you need to solve for the variable. We do that the same way we did solving other proportions. We just go ahead and cross multiply. Okay? So let's look at a couple examples. We have to set up a percent. This is really hard to say. Percent proportion. Feel a little tongue-tied with it. And you have to find the missing information. So A says that 5 is what percent of 8? So we're going to go ahead and dissect this. 5 is, okay, what percent of 8? So here, we actually have the is, we have the of, and we have the 100 that's already guaranteed in our proportion. The only thing we don't have is the percentage. So when we set this up, see if this is going to show up like I wanted to. Yeah. When we set up a proportion, that 100 is already in there. Okay? So we just need to fill in these other three boxes. 5 is, well, is goes in the top. It's a numerator of the other one. So 5 of 8, the of always goes on the bottom. And the what percent, because they asked what, that is our missing number. So we're going to put an X where the percent would go, right here. Okay? Now that we have our proportion, we're just going to go ahead and solve it using cross multiplying. So we're going to do our little circles. 5 times 100, X times 8. Set up our equation now. So 5 times 100 is equal to the other circle, 8 times X. So I just go ahead and set that up. Now I can go ahead and do my multiplication. 5 times 100 is 500. 8 times X is 8X. So we get that. We're just going to go ahead and solve for X now and get it by itself. So to undo this multiplication, I'm going to divide by 8. The 8's would cancel out here. and then I just do 500 divided by 8. I will probably get a decimal for these, and that's okay. Okay? I actually get 62.5. And because that missing number was the percentage part, when I write my answer, it's going to be 62.5%. We need to make sure we label it. Okay? So if you have any questions, write them down. If I went too fast, rewind the video, pause the video, whatever you need to do. Okay, let's try another one. We got what percent, or I'm sorry, I can't even read, guys. What number is, okay, what number is 5.5% of 650? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set up my proportion with the 100 already there. No! There we go. I'm going to put in my percentage because they gave me that, so that's the number going over 100, 5.5. Okay, what number is? So the is, I actually don't know, so that's my variable. Let's see if I can find it. Nope, of course not. Nope. Where did my little X go? There it is. And you can see the previews now. And then the of, the 650, goes right there in the bottom. So now I have my portion. My circles have already appeared for my cross multiplying. So I'm going to do 5.5 times the 650. I'm going to do X times 100 and set those equal to each other. So 5.5 times 650 equals X times 100. Multiply these together. So that actually is going to give me a big number, and that's okay. I get 3,575, and then 100 times x is just 100x. To get x by itself, I just divide by 100 on both sides. So I get x equals 35.75. They didn't tell me what this number is representing, so I can just leave it as 35.75. Okay? So now you are going to do these two try on your own. So, very similar. I would suggest making those boxes or using different color highlighters, something to help you identify what's what. Okay? You can either pause the video now and do these right now, or you can come back to them at the end. I'm going to make sure that this entire page is complete for when I come check homework, okay? I'm going to go ahead on to example 2, which is a word problem. Okay? So, sometimes when we talk, we don't always say is of, but you got to think about what's a part, what's a whole. Okay? So, in a library, 54 of the 90 books are history books. Okay? So if I say 54 are history books, that's actually the is. It's just are is the plural of it. Or the past tense of it, not the plural. Plural? Past tense? No, plural. I teach math, not English. Sorry. So 54 is whatever percentage of 90. Okay? So that's actually my is there. I can't draw either on a computer. They're asking what percent of the books are history. So 54 was the part, 90 is the whole. They want to know what percentage. Okay, and then they also ask what percent are not history. So let's start by finding what percent are history books. Okay, so I'm going to start with setting up a proportion. Guaranteed 100 in there. Okay, wouldn't it be nice if there's guaranteed hundreds everywhere in life? That'd be nice. All thoughts. So I have the is 54. The of is 90. What I don't have is the percentage. So that's going to be my x, the number over 100. Okay, now that I've set up my proportion, I go ahead and cross multiply. So x times 90 and 54 times 100. And then I'm going to multiply, make sure those are set equal to each other. I'm going to multiply them together. So I get 5400 or 5400 equals 90x. Get x by itself. Sorry, my dog is snoring in the background. I apologize. Divide both sides by 90. Okay? And what you actually get is 60, but because it's our missing percentage, we're going to say that x is actually equal to 60%. And we're going to even go further and say that 60% are history books. Okay? So we're actually going to make sure we're answering the question. What percentage of books are history? 60% are history. Now, knowing that 60% are history, we can figure out what percentage is not history, because remember, percentage is part of 100. So if 60%, meaning 60 out of 100, are history, we can just go ahead and subtract that 60 from 100 to find out the ones that are not history. Okay? So we just do 100 minus 60, we actually get 40% are not history books. Okay? So if you have any questions on this, we can go over them at the beginning of class next time, so that we make sure that everybody has a firm understanding of this before we actually go on to our activity, okay? So make sure you jot down like little questions. If you want to go over stuff, that's how you make sure you understand it. I can talk until I'm blue in the face, but unless I get some kind of feedback from you about what your understanding is, I don't know what's going on in your brain. So please ask questions. They're going to make it better for you. Okay? But other than that, I will see you next class. And bye, all.